When the Nintendo Wii crashed the scene in 2006, it offered motion controls along with broken TVs. And since this thing was practically printing money, Sony and Microsoft came out with their own alternatives to that console. We're gonna check out the sports titles that are supposedly enhanced by these gimmicks, starting with, listen, the joke I have is either a reference to a phallic object or the shit that the Disney kids were using to draw the logo when they went on commercial break. Pick whichever one's funnier. The PS Move is more of a traditional motion gimmick. It's something you can waggle your arms with or use it to aim a cursor. There are some games that are Move compatible, and the first one we'll look at is NBA 2K12. I was confused at first on how you get this thing started. You have to go to a whole separate game mode called NBA on the Move. From here, you have to calibrate your Move controller. Now, the Move controller, at least in this game, has a slight lag when moving the crosshairs, and I feel no matter how many times you calibrate it, it doesn't feel like it works the way it should. Like you see, I have the cursor in the middle of the screen right here, but in actuality, I have the controller pointed up at an angle. The first task when playing is, how the hell do you move your player? Well, it's certainly not the shoot button, that's for sure. So this is the stupidest way to play any NBA game in my opinion. The whole thing is controlled through the cursor. Your character moves by themselves. You point the cursor at a player to pass to a certain player or control them on defense. The only thing you really have control over is when you shoot the ball. You still have face buttons that do certain commands like pick and rolls and alley-oops.
10 tries for the alley-oop. Oh!
That should be absolutely illegal.
Yeah, damn right I included that in the video. That was harder to pull off than trying to cook a meal that would impress Gordon Ramsay. But overall, you don't really have much control over things. It's like trying to give commands to a dog. You know, they kinda do what you tell them to do, but it can be in a roundabout way. Like, look at this. You point the Move controller to the basket for them to drive towards it, and he kinda does it. Go, go. Come on, go to the basket. Go! On defense is more the same. I don't move anyone, so how the hell was I supposed to defend this? It's not my fault. And even after one quarter, your arm starts to get tired, so I can't imagine playing 4 12-minute quarters like this. You'll end up with one arm bigger than the other, and it's not for the reason you think. I was just playing NBA 2K12 on PlayStation Move. Okay, that might actually be a more embarrassing answer. Funny enough, this mode is locked behind this NBA on the Move option. You can't play a regular game with this, or run your franchise like this, or anything. You can't even change the basic broadcast camera. NBA 2K12 is 100% not enhanced by the Move. Even for the super duper casual video game player, it's not good. Now, those of you who have been longtime viewers know that I'm not a soccer guy in any way, shape, or form.
Guy fucking sucks.
But that made me want to check out FIFA 13's Move support even more. Once again, this is locked behind a specific game mode, so you cannot play your career or any mini games with this. Now, once you start, you are given this little practice thing to do. That's when you realize that this is a whole different ball game than NBA 2K. I'm speaking metaphorically. I know basketball and soccer are two different sports. You control things with the cursor, but you actually move with the cursor. Wherever you have the cursor pointed, that's where your player will run towards. So you can actually control your character in this video game. Wow, what a novel concept. Now, this whole thing is extraordinarily difficult. In addition to moving, you also aim passes and aim your shots too.
Say so. Must have been marginal as far as offside is concerned.
Offsides? I didn't line up past the line of scrimmage. How? The game gives you a good bit of control. You could still do things like slide tackle, lob passes, and whatever the hell any of this means.
I know some of these words.
And this is playable. Look, I even get a goal.
Hand side where he's got some support. Brilliant. What a chance. And it's in. It's past the goalkeeper. They are level.
But this game will wear your arms out way faster than NBA 2K did, because with 2K I could just lazily play it because the game had no control over the characters. This game you actually need to try because of how precise the control is. And I'll give credit, my cursor movements are tracked pretty well. It works, but it works in the same way as trying to eat soup without using your arms. You can do it, but outside of novelty, why would you? FIFA isn't really enhanced by the PS Move, but for a once in a while shits and giggles way to play the game, it can be something, I guess. On our way to talk about another sport rarely talked about on this channel, Top Spin 4. Top Spin is one of those franchises that's kinda under the radar. Like, out of all of the 2K sports franchises you can think of, there's like 6 I think of before this one, but that's probably just me personally. Of course, this game has an optional PS Move way to play the game, and this benefits from the fact that the inherent nature of the PS Move controller is perfect for a sport like tennis. The controller is a racket. It's pretty simple, and that makes things a bit more immersive. It's a way better alternative than dragging a crosshair across the screen. Just swing and hit the ball. But that's not all. There's also no automatic movement in this game, and you don't move with the Move controller, ironically. That's where the PS Move navigation controller comes in, or you could just use a regular controller like I did. So you have the controller in your left hand, which handles the movement, and the racket in your right hand. This bothered me because I'm left-handed and I have to conform to your normie bullshit, but this is the best implementation of the move by far. The harder you swing the racket, the harder the ball is hit, and you can hold different buttons while swinging for different shots. You can even bring this style of play into the game's career mode, which is more than welcomed. My main complaint is that sooner or later you come to the realization that swinging the controller isn't really swinging the racket. Let me explain. The game doesn't have one-to-one tracking of your controller. When you swing your controller, what happens is that your swing is just the button input for swinging the racket. So think of it like this. When you swing your controller, it's a press of the circle button. This one string of footage you've been looking at is regular controller gameplay, by the way. You see what I mean? There's no real difference here. This is a fun way to play Top Spin 4, but is it really enhanced? I don't know. MLB The Show 12 has PS Move controls, and we'll start out with the Home Run Derby. Assign the controller port to port 6. Okay. Assign the controller to port 7. Okay. Assign the controller to port 6. Okay, I didn't realize I was playing a Batman Arkham game. What the hell is up with these Riddler-ass instructions? After solving that mystery, Home Run Derby is pretty self-explanatory. Swing the Move controller to swing the bat, and it doesn't matter how you swing, it's just timing based. This would be a really fun family game to play. Just pass the Move controller around to like 7 other people. The actual game of MLB The Show has a lot, so we'll talk pitching first. In order to pitch, you select the pitch you want to throw with one of the face buttons. Then you use the controller to aim the pitch. Then you press the middle button to lock the pitch in that location. Now, this is where you pitch. You have to press and hold the trigger to start your windup. You do a windup of your own with the controller in your hand, but you want to time the release of the trigger in the middle of this meter, but also in rhythm with your windup.
And he may have reached for ball 4 there as this is sent on the ground to third.
It sounds like a lot, and it kinda is. Good luck doing this shit for 9 innings without looking like that one time Squidward threw out his back by the end of it. But it works fairly well. I really enjoy pitching, to be honest with you. It won't replace the main methods in the game, but it's fun.
That slider tailing down and away. That's tough to lay off when you're down 0-2.
And here's a changeup in there for a called third strike, and that's the second out of the inning.
Defense moves by itself, but you have to press the trigger in order to field the ball, and then move the controller to the base you want to throw it to. Hitting is a little bit different. There's 2 ways of hitting. You can just move the controller forward and it'll register a swing, or you can activate full control batting. Once you've done that, you'll know because your guy contorts like a damn demon. Hitting is just like the Home Run Derby. Just swing, only timing matters. There's a little delay when swinging, which makes this a little bit more difficult than it should be, and I can't imagine anyone playing this on difficulties that's past like rookie. There's also the base running controls, which I don't get. You gotta do some fucking circles or whatever with the controller. Here's me being thrown out at second base because I didn't know what I was doing. Overall, it's just like Top Spin 4. Even having the ability to play franchise mode like this too. But once again, enhanced? Not sure about this. Maybe for the Home Run Derby, sure.
Now he turns on this fastball and sends it out to deep left field. And I would say he got just about all of that one as this ball is gone, a home run.
We're done with the PS Move, but now we have its competitor, the Xbox Kinect. Now the Kinect is much more simple and user-friendly in terms of convenience. It's just a camera that plugs into the console. That's it. With the PS Move, you had to have a camera, a controller, Hell, maybe even 2 controllers depending on the game. The Move navigation controller, and oh yeah, don't forget to make sure all this shit is charged too. You don't even need a controller in general for this. You could just navigate the Xbox menus with your hand. Look how sinister my ass looks. This is how evil I'll look the day I implement in-video sponsored ads. So we'll look at NBA 2K13 first. Now the thing with NBA 2K is that it's just voice integration. You just play the game like normal, but you can use voice commands for certain things.
Pick and roll.
The Kinect is listening. Oh my god, that's the scariest thing I've ever read. It sounds like a threat. On the surface, this is a good idea because normally you have to fumble with the menus in the middle of the game just to execute simple commands. In order to change your defense, you could just say what you want to do.
Man to man.
And I would think that he most likely will continue to carry on this
double team
into the fourth.
Now here's Rubio.
In order to execute anything, you could just use simple commands. This is most helpful when you want to make substitutions.
Substitute Nash.
You can even see the player walking out waiting to be subbed in. Probably the most famous thing about the Kinect on NBA 2K is the fact that technical fouls can be called if you curse after a foul call.
They get it again.
That's bullshit.
That's a technical foul!
This whole thing works for the most part. Sometimes the game doesn't hear me or understands me or what, I don't know.
Isolation. ISO. I didn't want isolation for Nash, but alright.
But if I mute the TV, the Kinect can hear me better, and that might be a no shit moment to most of you. But my response to that is, what the hell was the point of the Kinect testing things with the TV volume then? But even if that wasn't a thing, in order to use this feature properly, I have to have the TV muted or use headphones. Kind of takes away from the experience, no? You can use this feature in your franchise too, so you're not just locked into one mode. Kinect actually does enhance the experience because it takes something that can be convoluted like substitutions and in-game play calls by just saying what you want to do. Of course, just tapping the buttons once you master it is way more efficient, but oh well. Madden 13 had Kinect integration, and we'll test it after we get past this intro of everyone's favorite white suit hiding linebacker, Ray Lewis. Madden is much like NBA 2K. It's voice integration. But this is even better for football in concept because this is where you have all of those pre-snap adjustments you can do.
Keller. Slant. No huddle. Custom. Jet slot cross.
One of the cool things about this is that you get to hear my candid reaction to Mark Sanchez randomly being subbed out for former New York Mets outfield prospect Tim Tebow.
Why the fuck is Tebow in?
Yeah, I guess they subbed out Sanchez because they had elite level foresight. The game has some of the things on the bottom you could say to help you out. It's not everything though, because you can say stuff that never pops up on the bottom.
Cover Amendola.
It's helpful as some of this stuff I don't even know how to do with the controller. But some commands don't work for whatever reason, like audibles. I'm sure it's easier to sign up for Audible on Amazon than it is to call an audible with this shit.
Audible. Audible. Audible.
It's funny because the audible command will come up in red sometimes, which means I'm not saying it well enough, but I say it well enough for you to identify that I'm not saying it well enough.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. Just give me a damn audible.
Hike. Hut, hike. Blue 42, hike. Omaha. Hike, hike the football. Hike. 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 Clap.
This is #1 bullshit.
I can only imagine what the Kinect hears.
Audible. Audible.
What are you saying? That's not even English.
Madden is a bit of a mixed bag. The concept is there, but doesn't work the greatest. And this whole audio thing is interesting because these features, as far as I know, aren't in today's games. Technology has come a long way, and we even have microphones in our controllers now. I'm just surprised that this hasn't been looked at again. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13 offers us full-on Kinect controls, so I'm going to treat it that way. I'm not going to use a controller at all and just navigate with the Kinect itself. Oh, wait, I need a controller for this menu. Okay, now I'm just gonna use, wait, I need my controller for this screen. Okay, now let's, fuck this. Once you get past the title screen, you come to find out that it's easier to control the fabric of time itself than it is controlling the menu with the Kinect. And that's gonna be a common theme here. This just doesn't work well at all. You can use a combination of gestures and voice commands to do what you need to do, but the issue is that it's just way more work. And when I say more work, I don't mean it in a workout sense. I mean it in a, wow, this really isn't working and I'm looking like a certain German dictator in the process sense. The main issue is that golf requires a lot of precise control because you are trying to put a tiny ball into a tiny hole. It's something you can't really mess around with. In order to aim your shot, you're supposed to clench your fist and slowly move it, but I constantly overshoot where I'm trying to go, or the game stops recognizing my fist as a fist and ends the control. Sometimes the game just freaks out. Here, look at this shot that was taken by Manti Te'o's girlfriend. There's 0 people in frame here.
I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here.
Even when this works, it's unsatisfying because in order to play this, you have to face the TV with your body parallel to the TV. You can't line up to a ball like you would in real life. Also, this is an instance where a lack of a physical peripheral hurts the Kinect. I mentioned how playing Top Spin or MLB The Show can be satisfying because the Move controller can be a substitute for a racket or a baseball bat. You are literally swinging something. With this game on Kinect, you put your hands together around nothing and swing nothing. Playing Tiger Woods just gave me a headache. Okay, I covered what I wanted to. I missed out on some things like Tiger Woods on the PS Move, and I purposefully didn't cover FIFA on the Xbox 360 because it's just vocal commands again, and I have no idea what to say, so it would just be a waste of everyone's time. Overall, the motion control gimmicks for the 7th generation were a mixed bag. This isn't even mentioning the 6-axis motion control for the PS3, which had features like shooting free throws in NBA 2K and bigger hits in Madden. In any case, the most fun I've had during the making of this video was trying to get a technical foul on purpose.
Without that scoring run.
That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck you, ref.